these are the individuals who will see your need, who will see your financial need. These type of individuals will see that you're lonely, see that you want a meaningful relationship, and they'll fill that gap. That's also the type of person that a manipulative hobosexual. They are manipulating the situation. They see your need, they see your crisis, they see your hurt, they see your pain. They see that you want a meaningful relationship. But like all the other hobosexuals, their goal is to have a place to stay. Welcome to the Dr. G.L. White Show, where we explore the vital role of Black fathers in strengthening families and building strong communities. I'm Dr. Gary O. White, and today we have a very interesting topic. It is the hobosexual. That's right, hobosexual. So what is a hobosexual? Well, have you ever been or seen someone who into a relationship and 30 days, 20 days, sometimes 5 days after they've met, they've moved in together? Now they've invested everything. They've moved in, they've shared the car together, they're purchasing items, picking up debt, they're living together, and everything appears to be going well. And then over time, let's say about a month, 6 months, now the relationship becomes strained. Now it seems that that person is kind of taking advantage of you a little bit. And then soon you realize that this relationship really isn't what I want it to be. But while you're sitting up there contemplating, this person has already began the transition. They've already started another relationship unbeknown to you. And when you finally decide that that relationship is over and you want that person out, before you can even get the word all the way out your mouth, they're gone. And now they're in a new relationship. This is what I call a hobosexual. Now, it's important to understand that there are different types of hobosexuals. But before we go into it, I just want you to understand, how does one become a hobosexual? Well, a lot of times it has to do with how someone's raised. Sometimes it has much to do with an unbelievable safety net that they leave the home, and especially for men, they leave the home, they enter a relationship, and when that relationship begins to go bad, they always can go back home to mama. They could be there a couple days or a week until they start another relationship, and then they've moved on. But the hobosexual, we call them that because, again, they move from one relationship to the next in a relatively quick period of time. But there are different types of hobosexuals. And I mean that there are different types of individuals who find ways to enter relationships and move in, and it does vary. The first type of hobosexual is one who's a crisis survivor. That's the type of person who presents themselves as someone going through something, or there's an emergency or some type of financial crisis that has occurred, but they've started a relationship with someone, and you being that person see the crisis that they're in and say, let's move in. These are the individuals, when you ask, well, why did you move in? They said, well, it was a financial decision. We were able to combine our income. So the crisis survivor type of hobosexual is just that person that they enter a relationship in a crisis and they'll leave a relationship in a crisis. But the crisis survivor type of hobosexual, you have come to recognize and realize that even during that period of time, and again, the crisis survivor, you'll know that they're that crisis survivor type of hobosexual because they've moved in with you in less than 30 days. And so we focus on the crisis survivor, and there's some tips that you need to understand, even with this one, where I say that don't allow anyone who presents that as the solution to their financial crisis or the solution to the situation that they've lost a job and they're out there, never fall into it. We're saying take the time. Help them problem solve, but don't be the solution to the problem. But there are other types of hobosexuals as well. You know, the convenient conqueror. That's the type of person that's literally their intention. They go from one relationship to the next. Now, unlike the crisis survivor, they give the appearance that they got life together. They give the appearance that everything is exactly the way it should be. Now, this type of conqueror, they may even move you in just so that you can help pay the bills, just so that they can drive your car. This type of person, in terms of when we talk about building a relationship or strengthening a relationship, this type of individual that once their financial needs or housing needs are met, even if you moved in with them, that relationship begins to go awry and now they're ready for you to get out. Or you've moved in with them and now they want you out. And so we give a lot of attention to the conqueror type of a hobosexual, because this is the person where they don't have much remorse. There's no sadden. As a matter of fact, this type of relationship may come to an abrupt end. And so we have the crisis survivor, we have the convenient conqueror, and then there is what I like to call the eternal drifter. Someone who comes across as being spiritual, someone who comes across as being romantic, someone who comes across as being a person who wants to build a strong, meaningful relationship with you. The drifter, when you talk with them, you'll find out that they've been in several relationships. And when you ask them, where have you lived in the last 5 years or 3 years? And they're going to tell you about 4 or 5 different places that they lived. The drifter is a person who will come in and out of a relationship, and you don't even realize that the relationship is over because they have drifted away. So these types of hobosexuals, we have a great deal of cautions around, because these are the individuals who will see your need, who will see your financial need. These type of individuals will see that you're lonely, see that you want a meaningful relationship, and they'll fill that gap. That's also the type of person that a manipulative hobosexual. They are manipulating the situation. They see your need. They see your crisis. They see your hurt. They see your pain. They see that you want a meaningful relationship. But like all the other hobosexuals, their goal is to have a place to stay. Their goal is to be able to move in very, very fast. But none of these beat the quick fixer hobosexual. These are the people who will come in and, they may be handy. They can fix your car, they can fix your house, they can fix your plumbing, they can do all those things. So they make themselves available. You call them and they're there. This is the type of person who will, at some point, you will come up with the idea of having them move in because of the convenience. And so we want to challenge you to, again, slow down, get to know the person, focus on the relating. Because you never know if you find yourself dating a hobosexual. You never know if you're in that relationship. Well, here's how you know. If they've moved in with you, or you've moved in with them in less than 30 to 60 days and you don't know them, you might have a hobosexual. So when you start dating, when you start engaging in the process of getting to know someone, take the time to understand their living patterns. Understand how many times they may have come back home to live with their mother for a period of time. And also, I want you to pay particular attention on who first came up with the idea of moving in together. Yes, it's a way of road testing the relationship, but we already talked about the time that it takes to get to know someone. But when you do this, when you come to understand the person you're with, when you realize that you may need to initiate the ending of a relationship, and when you've done that, and you look back and you reflect on how you got that person out of your life, you're going to look back at this podcast. You're going to look at the wise words that I've said. You'll reach out to me. You'll tell a friend. And you say, Dr. White, I'll toast to that.